Hello, fellow book nerds, and welcome to our very first Lit News of 2023. Let's just take a moment. How are you guys? How's the year been going so far for you? Bought any new books lately? Want to check out my latest books? Let us know in the comments below. What are your reading goals for this year? So let's get down to business. A lot has happened in the last year to this year transition, and that's what we are here for. So one main thing that happened quite recently which really got my interest was Brandon Sanderson and his take on Audible and how it's treating its authors. So Brandon Sanderson is actually one of my most favorite authors. I know I say this about a lot of authors, but genuinely his Mistborn trilogy is one of the best books I've ever read. I mean, he writes the biggest books I've ever seen, but genuinely it was quite a good series. And now he had planned on writing a new series and giving it to Audible. Now, the problem is he mentioned very clearly that he really liked Audible and his son also uses Audible a lot. Genuinely, Audible is the way I got through college, through a lot of books I didn't like reading, and it's how I read non-fiction as well. And just listening to an audiobook while you're reading a physical book, it's a great way to read. And there aren't that many competitors for Audible. I mean, you can take Storytel, you could take Speechify, you could take, Spotify maybe. But there isn't really much competition for Audible, and it seems to be taking advantage of its authors because right now the cost of a digital product, as in if you have a digital product like an ebook or a game on Steam or some song or something like that, the person has to pay you 70% every time the sale is made. But on Audible, it's paying barely 40% to its authors every time there's a sale made. That's barely half of the amount. Especially to indie authors are getting paid really, really less. Brandon Sanderson actually had a lot more to say on that because more than mainstream authors and international authors, indie authors are treated really, really bad. And if an indie author refuses to stay exclusive to Audible, they get paid barely 25%. So that was an issue which he had raised, and I genuinely had no idea about this because I just focus on the good sides of Audible, and I guess that's what a lot of us do. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. Why do you think this is happening? Is this the right way to go about? Do you think there's a conspiracy? Always up for the discussion. Next up, let's talk about the Chennai Book Fest because I live in Chennai and any book fair that comes near my place is amazing. So Chennai Book Fair is actually two separate news pieces. One is the international one and one is the Chennai Annual Book Fair by Bapasi, which is I think the Booksellers and Publishers Association of South India or something like that. But every year for the past 35 years, they have been organizing this book fair with hundreds and thousands of different stalls, small booksellers, big booksellers, places like Higginbotham's, HarperCollins, Odyssey, Crossword, Penguin, everyone, and even small dealers who are just starting, maybe even your local bookstore, everybody can come and buy a slot and get a place at this book fair. There are hundreds, never ending under one big roof that's going on. Plus there's lots of food stalls and everything, and there are so many different languages of books available as well. It's happening between January 6th to January 22nd, and I'm really excited. For the past 6 years, every time during Pongal, me and my family just go there, have the food, check out the stalls, discover some brand new authors, and it's also a good opportunity for authors to meet other authors. So all that has been going on as well, and it was really nice, and I can't wait to go there and check it out. The second half of it though is the International Book Fair, which usually goes on for about 3 or 4 days. It's going on between January 16th to January 18th. And they recently also mentioned that there's going to be 1,000 stalls in it, which is 200 stalls more than last year. I mean, what are you talking about? So let's get a bit away from the book fair news and go into the JLF, which is the Jaipur Literature Festival, which is one of the most iconic festivals ever, having a new edition opening in Europe very recently in 2023. So back in 2021, JLF actually went online because of the pandemic, and then in 2022 they kind of had a very low response to it because of the COVID pandemic and all that. But now in 2023 they are coming back bigger and better than ever on January 19th, and they have a special edition with various art directors, drama, literature, everything art coming up in Europe very soon. So stay tuned for that. With that being said, let's just stick to the book fest literary events sort of side, and let's look at the Kanpur Literary Festival that was a massive success. The KLF every year I'm just so amazed by how they turn out. Especially this year, it was a great opportunity for people to like meet new authors, discover new books, explore different genres, meet like-minded book lovers, especially take part in different book discussions, discuss their favorite books, discuss various topics related to literature. And this year was no different because I saw a lot of articles online which are talking about the topics that were discussed and the different authors and panel discussions and all that. And I was quite amazed because of the amount of diversity they are giving people. If you attend this festival, it's definitely a chance for you to open your eyes to new things. And I remember one of the previous editions which I checked out, that's what inspired me to read more Indian fiction actually, because back then I used to think Chetan Bhagat is the stereotyped Indian author and every novel is going to be like that. But then only after attending those events, I realized how I'm kind of betraying my own culture and my own nationality by not reading works of my own people. So genuinely, I think everybody should check this out. And sticking to this, let's check out some news happening in Kerala. Kottayam is going to get a brand new museum, and this museum is going to be the Letter, Literature and Culture Museum. The name itself intrigues me, and it's pretty self-explanatory because this project is going to cost close to 9 crore rupees as far as I saw. It's going to cost close to 9 crore rupees, and they're going to have various different antique letters, ancient scriptures and all that, and a lot of literature related things and everything related to culture, clothing. Just a museum dedicated to like documenting culture like this, and I think that's really beautiful that the government is taking an initiative like this. So anyways, with all that being said, these were the key highlights, the top 6 news pieces that really intrigued me this past month. What about you? What's one astounding thing you have heard so far in the month? And considering how news is going on so far, especially January being the month of like book fairs and lit fest, what are you most excited for? How's your 2023 going and what are your reading goals for this year? Let us know in the comments below and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.